Red Lobster. This is one I fought for in the show. I've been laughing about this for 2 days, and I think a lot of people would like to know the details. Let's put this up there on the screen. Dozens of Red Lobster locations suddenly were ended overnight and just shut down. Why? Because the company is on the verge of total bankruptcy, saying that they are going to have to auction off equipment of 50 different locations, all had to close for quote, footprint rationalization. Now, what spawned the sudden closure of all of these store Krystals? It appears to be a potential Chapter 11 filing on the heels of all-you-can-eat shrimp, endless shrimp, as it was called. It turns out that Red Lobster, which was already on the face of financial brinksmanship, their CEOs, or their executives of a new team, came up with this idea. They're like, all right, we got to get butts back in the seats. Inflation is killing us. These chain restaurants continue to lose customers because that's one of the main ones where lower income and middle class diners usually were consistent customers. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring them in here with an endless shrimp, all you can eat promotion. But it turns out that they massively underestimated the American public's appetite for endless shrimp, and they lost
appetite in general.
millions of dollars in the span of just a year or so on the so-called endless shrimp deal. So much so that their Thai suppliers of shrimp were shocked at the amount that they were going through, and they were running massive losses because customers were so taking advantage of, quote, all you can eat endless shrimp at the table. So your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, they said all you can eat, and Americans were like, challenge accepted.
Okay, cool.
Challenge accepted.
Got it.
You know, for me, it's deeply personally sad. I have like a deep emotional connection to Red Lobster. First of all, I still eat their cheddar biscuits all the time. You can buy the mix. They sell it, I think, at Costco.
They still sell it.
And my mom makes them particularly well. She adds even extra butter, and they're so freaking delicious. She literally made them for me like 2 nights ago, and they're amazing. And if that goes away, I'm gonna be really sad. I'm gonna be really sad because those cheddar biscuits are an important contribution to the culinary landscape of America, in my personal opinion. That's number one. Number two, when I was a kid, we very rarely went out to eat. You know, we'd occasionally do like McDonald's, like after swim meet, we'd go to McDonald's, or if it was like a really important occasion, like a Mother's Day kind of a thing, we might go to Red Lobster. And so I have very fond memories of going to Red Lobster. It was always a big deal and very special when we went there. So I still have a, you know, deep sentimental connection to Red Lobster. I have to say I must be part of their decline because I haven't actually eaten in the restaurant in many years. I think, you know, the landscape was sliding against them for quite a while now. I do wonder if they were in better financial position, though, if this endless shrimp thing might have worked out for them in the end.
It's certainly possible.
It could be that, okay, you take the loss. I mean, businesses do this all the time, where you take a short-term loss and you sort of underprice your item to get people. Walmart used to, this is part of how Walmart grew in the early days. You underprice something to bring people in, and then once you get them there and get them, then they remember like, oh, that was a great experience, let's go back, let's do it again, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe in the end, it wouldn't have been a bad decision, but yeah, you never underestimate Americans' ability to eat endless amounts of whatever.
Americans are like, what did you think endless meant, bro? It's like we're gonna take advantage. America's always been great. I mean, on the one hand, it's also kind of sad whenever you consider it. But the business dynamics behind it are still not one that we should celebrate. I mean, it is largely, according to their own customer research, it's the casual dining spend with customers of incomes of $50,000 or less that have had to dramatically reduce visits and order fewer items when eating out, and more likely to take advantage of endless shrimp because they don't have any money. And inflation is just murdering them. And that's the other thing too. I, like you, have not been in a Red Lobster in many years. We don't even have many around us. But some entrees are going for like 30, 40 bucks a person, which is wild. I mean, when you consider that at a chain restaurant, it's like, well, what's even the point? I might as well go to somewhere nice. We're gonna pay 40 or 50 bucks. Apparently there have been similar bankruptcies in the last several months with similar types of chains. So the Tex-Mex chain, the Wall Street Journal notes, is the Tijuana Flat, New York-based Sticky Fingers joint filed for Chapter 11. And then there was a famous one that hit me particularly hard, Foxtrot Markets, which just suddenly overnight just collapsed.
What was that?
They're urban. So that we had one in my neighborhood. There
This
were
is the one
many
you're
in
talking, it's like a high-end
DC.
pharmacy or something?
It's not a farm. It was like I don't know. They build themselves like a high-end corner store. It's like a place you can get coffee and upscale goods or whatever. It's just convenient because it's like a CVS, but they have nicer goods.
But
This
fancy.
is the way I would put it.
Okay, gotcha. I'm
and
surprised that concept didn't work actually, because
I think
that clientele has money.
yeah, but they do. But I don't think they had enough because they were billing all these like delivery things. They opened massive amounts of stores, and then it turned out they just closed completely overnight. I actually got a message. I posted about this on Instagram. One of the people who worked at a Red Lobster, they said that they worked at one of the top 10 Red Lobsters in revenue just last year, and then overnight just lose their job. You know, he's like a server there. And then overnight, they were just like, yeah, actually, every single one of you is fired. So it's devastating, actually, you know, for a lot of the people who like the restaurant and the people who work there.
Both my sisters used to work at the
Really?
local Red Lobster.
How were the
outlets.
tips?
Yeah.
That's the
I
question.
think they were pretty good, actually.
Okay.
They did. I think they liked working there. They enjoyed that experience. Yeah, I think your point about the structure of the economy is the most important one, which is, you know, the audience they're catering to is like, it's like a working class audience. And those are the people who have been hit hardest by inflation. Those are the people who have been hit hardest by high interest rates. So the fact that this would be the moment when it's like, first of all, if you're giving me a deal on shrimp that I can't refuse, like I'm getting in there, I'm taking advantage of it. And second of all, yeah, but that's gonna be it. Like I can't be in Red Lobster every week. That's not going to work for me. My budget is like nowhere near flush enough to take advantage of that. So I'm sure they took a hit during COVID as well. So a lot of these chains were probably like struggling. COVID hits them, struggling more. This was like a last-ditch effort, and now here we are.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.